A Frankish king, fresh from conquering Gaul, personally executes one of his own soldiers. The crime, stealing hay, not from another warrior, not from a rival king, from a church. Clovis's chilling explanation. How shall there be hope of victory if we offend the blessed Martin? Well, this wasn't piety for show. In 6th century Gaul, saints could kill you, and kings knew it. To understand why a king would kill over hay, we need to enter a world where the dead were very much alive. For Gregory of Tours, our primary source, a bishop and historian writing in the late 6th century, the supernatural wasn't separate from daily life. It interpenetrated the physical at every point. Saints weren't inspirational figures from the past. They were present, powerful, and notably touchy about their property. Saints could determine battle outcomes. Consider the siege of Saragossa. The Visigoths, who were Arians, followers of a Christian heresy denying Christ's full divinity, held off the mighty Franks. Their secret weapon, St. Vincent's tunic, a piece of cloth from a dead holy man stopped an army. Spiritual power transcended theological correctness. Even heretics could wield it if they possessed the right relics. But bishops weren't just relic keepers. They had inherited Roman administrative offices. When the Western Roman Empire collapsed in 476, someone still had to manage cities, settle disputes, maintain infrastructure. Bishops stepped in. By the time Clovis converted to Catholic Christianity in 496, episcopal authority had been growing for decades. Bishops weren't just praying, they were governing. This created a parallel power center to the warrior kings. The Merovingians, the Frankish dynasty, named after their legendary ancestor Merovec, sat atop this system, but they didn't control it alone. Kings appointed bishops and protected churches. Bishops guarded relics and interpreted saintly will. Saints provided legitimacy and supernatural intervention. Each needed the others. Power in 6th century Gaul wasn't a hierarchy. It was a triangle of mutual dependence. But if saints were so powerful, couldn't anyone claim their favor? The answer reveals how the system policed itself. Bishop Crayola, an Arian, grew jealous of Catholic miracles. He staged a healing, bribing a man to pretend blindness, then pretend to be cured. God's response, making the pretender actually blind, permanently. Only a Catholic bishop could heal him. The fraud backfired spectacularly. This story reveals Gregory's worldview. He acknowledged that even heretics had some spiritual power. The Saragossa tunic worked, but fraudulent miracles triggered divine correction. God actively policed authenticity. The system contained its own verification mechanism. Claim false miracles suffer real consequences. This feedback loop reinforced Catholic authority while explaining why Arian relics sometimes worked. Spiritual power had rules. Supernatural constraints bound even royal family conflicts. King Closer was ruthless and adulterous, not a model Christian. Yet when his brothers attacked him, he prayed to God while his mother, Queen Clotilde, prayed to St. Martin. A hailstorm struck, but only the enemy camp. Closer's forces remained untouched. Even bad kings could access supernatural aid, but only through proper channels. Prayer, saints, the church's mediation. The Merovingians needed bishops as much as bishops needed royal protection. The Merovingians, violent as they were, became acceptable partners for the church because they were Catholic. Priests, bishops, and saint guardians could influence them. Clovis feared St. Martin's wrath enough to execute his own soldier. Closer prayed before battle. The church didn't need armies when it controlled access to saints who could send hailstorms. As Augustine had predicted, the church would outlast empires. It did. The Western Roman Empire fell. The Merovingian dynasty eventually faded. The church endured. So what does this strange world teach us about power itself? In societies where supernatural belief is generally held by all parties, religious institutions gain real political leverage. This wasn't manipulation by cynical elites, Gregory believed, Clovis believed, the soldier who stole the hay probably believed and died for it anyway. The mechanism recurs throughout history wherever spiritual legitimacy constrains temporal power. The forms change, the dynamic persists. Understanding 6th century Gaul helps us recognize it wherever religious authority and the political power intersect.